a month since we've seen him last time. His run was extremely disappointing to what we had seen previous preparation. At his absolute best, he can definitely mix it with these, but if he needs to go better than what he did first up, put it that way. Yeah, thanks Michael. At the start here, FARBIO off the front with Springbank Eden. And FARBIO's drifted $3 out to $4.20. His first up run, in my opinion, was pretty ordinary, but he's had a month to recover from that. And I know on his previous preparation, he's good enough to test these for sure if he does everything right. He's an out-of-the-draw horse in standing, so he's a bit touchy at the start. Springbank Eden is right out of the draw in standing starts, but can begin okay. GATESYS Alley, she ran well when she stepped up in quality last time, but she goes back to 10 metres here. It's Elvis on 10 with her. We're set. Ready now. And away. FARBIO began a little bit scratchy and gallops. So did Springbank Eden. GATESYS Alley gets up on the inside, and now it's Elvis is charging around the outside. REILS is pushing through behind those. Then Mass Destruction, who's starting to push through as well, as FARBIO is in a wild gallop and won't get back into a trot at this stage. Then in turn behind those as they make their way around the bend was Southern Alps in front of FOURSHARESMOREBEERS. Then in turn behind those, Springbank Eden and FARBIO's a further 30 metres behind those. They still haven't sorted out the lead up front. Well, I suppose they have, because holding the lead is GATESYS Alley. On the outside is It's Elvis facing the breeze, and on the inside REILS. Mass Destruction's got a lob, one out, one back eventually. We'll get into that position and get behind It's Elvis, who's dropped a bit okay outside the leader. Southern Alps is right on the back of Mass Destruction, getting up on the inside FOURSHARESMOREBEERS, and behind those Springbank Eden. And FARBIO is still around 25 or 30 metres off the stablemate's back. Lead time 50.6. They've just about completed the first circuit, and GATESYS Alley, she's in front by a metre. It's Elvis outside the leader. REILS on the inside follows the leader, and Mass Destruction, the favourite, is one out, one back. FOURSHARESMOREBEERS, three back the inside. Southern Alps races on its outside behind those Springbank Eden. And FARBIO now is within 15 metres as they make their way around the bend. A lap and a half to go. First quarter covered in 31.4, and GATESYS Alley in front, presented with that beautiful inside run when the front two gallop, and she leads away by a long neck. It's Elvis outside the leader. He's settled down pretty good for him. Sometimes he gets fierce and fired up, but he's settled down beautifully for Billinger outside the leader. Mass Destruction is one out, one back on the inside REILS. He follows the leader. Then in turn behind those, FOURSHARESMOREBEERS is on a tight rein. David Smith's holding on very strongly there. Three back the inside held up. Southern Alps races on its outside. FARBIO has been able to tack on, and Springbank Eden races on its outside. Around the bend they go, 620 metres to travel, 30.8 that second section, 62.2, and Danny lets the leader slide. GATESYS Alley, she's off and gone, leads by 5 metres. REILS is holding his ground well. Under pressure, It's Elvis. Mass Destruction is pulled wide, but he's not responding good enough, and getting right up on the inside was FOURSHARESMOREBEERS, still on a fairly tight rein. Then in turn behind those Southern Alps, and FARBIO's done well to catch It's Elvis, who galloped around the bend. In the meantime, GATESYS Alley leads away. In second place, on the leader's back, FOURSHARESMOREBEERS. The favourite's not running on good enough at this stage off the track, Mass Destruction. And nearly locked wheels there. Oh, yes, has locked wheels. In front, though, it's GATESYS Alley trying hard in second place in FOURSHARESMOREBEERS. But GATESYS Alley goes on to win to beat FOURSHARESMOREBEERS. Third placing behind those Southern Alps. Behind then was REILS. Now, a locky at wheels with Mass Destruction, but it did beat home FARBIO. Alongside of it was It's Elvis, and the last one home was Springbank Eden.